And a very good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to USITT New at Noon. My name is Cody, and I will be your host of these Noon at Noon sessions every Monday through Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Although our conference may have been canceled due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, our commitment to education and training has not and will not stop. Every Monday through Thursday, USITT will bring you at least 2 educational sessions, New at Noon and Forum at 4. The New at Noon series will be similar to our new product showcase that takes place every year at the annual conference and stage expo. Companies who were set to exhibit their latest tech will now take the virtual stage instead to explain what the product is and to answer any questions that you, our participants, may have. This series will also feature exhibitors who were new to the show this year in 2020, as well as new and emerging technologies. The Forum at 4 series will take a selection of sessions that were to be held at USITT 2020 in Houston and translate them into our new virtual environment. These webinars are brought to you by the various USITT commissions, presenters, and exhibitors. Be sure to tune in live every day for a unique chance to connect with industry experts and leaders and get all of your questions answered here live in this new virtual environment. You can find our schedule each week and more information on all of these sessions and offerings on our website at www.usitt.org. The schedule for the following week is posted every Thursday, so be sure to check back every week and register for those that are interesting to you. Today's New at Noon session features Cable Munkey and the owner and inventor of Cable Munkey, Mr. Jonathan Allender-Zivic, who's joining us live from the University of South Dakota's Knutson Theater. Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Cody, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing okay.
Perfect. Just before we get started here, for those of you that have any questions during the section, please make sure to use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screens there. You can also upvote your questions. So if you see a question that you really like and want the answer to, go ahead and give it a like there, and that'll get it to the top of our screens. Throughout the sessions, Jonathan and I may answer these questions. We'll also leave some time at the very end for a little Q&A wrap up. But let's go ahead and get started. So Jonathan, tell us a little about yourself and what Cable Munkey is and what you guys have to offer us.
Sure. So a bit about myself. So I have been in the lighting industry for quite a number of years and been teaching lighting for many years at various universities. Right now I teach at the University of South Dakota. And this is one of those things that as a professor, as a designer, as a freelancer, I kind of saw a place in the market that I could do something that would really help the industry, help myself get work done a little faster, more efficiently. It was something that I really thought would be useful because I spent so much time running cable, troubleshooting cable, and especially in an academic environment where I spend a lot of time, we get a lot of people that don't necessarily that they're still learning. Right. And as a time when you're still learning, you don't always do things the correct way the first time. So there's a lot of undoing and redoing. And, you know, when all your cable and everything is attached to your batten and all one big mess, it's just kind of hard to find that one cable that's not working, hard to troubleshoot. And so I wanted to figure out a way to really make life a little easier on everyone, make things a little more efficient, more time efficient, save a little cost savings and labor. And it really came down to one specific event a number of years ago where we had to replace one cable on a batten that was buried under probably 6 other cables. And just because someone had tie lined it every about foot. And so after taking off about 40 pieces of tie line, we got that cable out of there and I went, you know, there's got to be a better solution. And so that is kind of where Cable Munkey came from and where it is and where it got its genesis.
That's amazing. And I think we've all been there at a time or two in our lives and our careers that you're trying to hunt down that one faulty cable and you have to undress the entire batten to get to it. So this is an amazing piece of equipment. Can you tell us a little bit about the equipment itself and what it does, how it separates, how you have different hangers for different types of cables and how you can separate those as well?
Sure, yeah, I will totally do that. And then I also think we've got a lovely video that I put together as well that as soon as I kind of showcase here, we can bring that up and show you what that is and kind of a little more in detail. But this is the Cable Munkey. It's a piece of injection molded, 30% glass filled polypropylene plastic in black, of course, because most of the things we do, we want to hide. And it allows for us with these 2 separate hooks to really be able to keep power cable separate from any other data, video, audio cable that we want, and just be able to go ahead and clip right over the batten easy to install, and easy to get cables in and out of as you're working on it. And so within this as well, one of the big things I wanted to be sure about is making sure that we could do this in a safe way also. And so within this design are a bunch of these holes that you can see here, and we'll see in the video as well, that allow you to mouse the cable, mouse to the batten. You can go ahead and use tie line, you can use zip ties, you can use mousing wire, whatever you want, but really enables you to secure as you need. If you're doing a one-off gig where you've got to hang something for 30 minutes and bring it back down again, quick and easy way you can get it up there. If you're doing a permanent install and you want stuff to be there for a long time and you're sure about it, you can secure it in whatever way you want.
Perfect. And obviously safety is always our biggest effort and at the forefront of everyone's minds for sure. We will go ahead and fire this video off. I just want to put it out there to everyone. This is our first ever webinar in this series. USITT has done webinars in the past, but in this lovely digital virtual environment that we're all working in, we're all working remote. So if we have any technical difficulties, as we're hoping and praying we won't, but if we do, that is like the excuse for today. And then the rest of this week, you can make fun of us if we have any that happen. But just bear with us today. Hopefully we won't have any, but we're gonna go ahead and fire this video and see what happens. That was awesome. Thank you, Jonathan, for that. That showed us a lot of information there. I think one of the coolest ones was the tie line monster. That was one of the coolest ones for you. It was great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun trying to figure out, I originally made this video for New Products Showcase, and I've been to a number of conferences as a participant, as a presenter, as a member of the Lighting Commission. And it's fun to see new products, but it's also, you got to have a little bit of humor in all this too.
Of course. And we will point out that Jonathan, you're the only one in the theater today, right? So for everyone that's at home wondering about social distancing, he's not in the theater is shut down, the university is shut down, the campus is shut down, but he snuck in today to be able to broadcast from a live theater. So that's a really cool thing for us as well. Jonathan, how about, do we have any, I think you got some special deals going on right now. So can you tell us about the special deal, and also where can people find Cable Munkey?
Totally. So I'm working with a number of theatrical dealers currently right now. BMI Supply, Main Stage Theatrical, and Production Advantage. Those are the three main dealers, and they're all offering right now 15% off your entire Cable Munkey purchase now through the month of April. And we know it's also not the best time. I know our university budgets are frozen right now too. So we are looking at kind of, as this evolves, looking at possibly extending that deal further. But definitely, you know, the dealers know the position we're all in right now too. So contact them, talk to them. You know, one of the big things, one of the reasons that I wanted to work with the theatrical dealers that a lot of us work with, and one of the reasons that, you know, we set the price where we did, which is as low as we can really do it to pay off the product eventually, is that we know that, you know, none of us have huge budgets, and we want to be able to save you some time and money. And it is something that, you know, when we looked at cost, when we looked at pricing, we really tried to figure out, okay, you know, how can, you know, universities afford this? How can smaller theaters afford this? Can we do it where you can buy them in smaller amounts at one point in time? And so we are really trying to do what we can.
Perfect. That's amazing. And as you said, everybody's budgets are unknown at this time. So being able to have a little bit of adaptability there, that's amazing as well. You want to talk us through just, we obviously know the number one use for Cable Munkey, but what are those other uses? There are a few that were pointed out in the video, a tool hanger, putting cables on lifts. What are some other uses of Cable Munkey?
Sure. I mean, it's one of those things that I have been working on this for a little while, and people constantly walk up to me that know me is like, oh, hey, I saw your thing. Did you ever think about using it for this? And it's like, no, I haven't. So things are developing as you go. You know, there's definitely the things in the videos. You know, one of the things that I actually had someone walk up to me that that I had thought about before but hadn't put in the video and added was, you know, just the idea of needing a place to hang your paint can when you're painting on a ladder. So that's a really great place. It works great too if you just need to organize, if you've got a cable rack or you've got a, you know, a wall of cage wall with lots of stuff, places to hang cable, everything that's tie lined on there. This is a great place to do that. It also works in a lot of other industries. I'm finding out a lot of people have come up to me and gone, you know, we run our cable, you know, above HVAC over pipes. And so this allows people to work in other industries like that. I honestly figured out a whole new use today as I was setting up this whole kind of setup in front of me, where I literally have one on the table in front of me and my cell phone is propped up on it so I can see the screen, and it works great as a cell phone holder as well. So you kind of really figure out a lot of things. I've used it in the past. I can actually clip the belt clip of my comm on there so that I can go ahead and have the comm sitting over the back of a seat or other things, so that I don't have to necessarily worry about having it attached to my belt. It can be sitting next to me. So there's definitely, you know, a lot of uses, more keep coming. And I always have to laugh, you know, there's always a good one now and again. I had a really good friend of mine and he goes, I bought 10 of these so that my wife can hang up her purses in her closet. So there's plenty of more spaces to do that. And then I bought another 10 because they were so great to hang up my extension cords in the garage. And it really, you know, it works for anything. You know, there's a lot of things. I've had one of my cousins is a chef, and she uses them in her kitchen to hang up, you know, different pots and pans and stuff like that she can fit through the objects. So it's got a lot of uses, and it's something that I think it's going to grow more as people really start using the product more.
That's amazing. A truly multifunctional tool there that expands more than just our industry for sure. Jonathan, I just, if you want to talk about the giveaway a little bit, I just posted, for those of you that are watching on Zoom, if you open up the chat feature, I just posted the link in the chat there. For those of you that are watching on Facebook Live, we do have some viewers on Facebook Live. Just to let you know, the New at Noon segments will always be on Facebook Live. The Format 4 will only be hosted through Zoom, but you can, like I said, you can get all those links and register for those on our website. I just posted the link on both Facebook chat and the Zoom chat for people if you just want to talk them through that.
Totally. So, you know, USITT is all about giving away some free stuff and free swag, and we were totally planning on giving away Cable Monkeys there. And so we want to keep up with that with this New at Noon format. And so the link there will take you to a survey where you can sign up and give your information. We'll randomly generate a winner out of those, the people that fill out that information. And we're going to do actually 3 prizes for that. First prize, the first pick, will be a barrel of 20 Cable Monkeys that we'll mail to you. Second prize is going to be a barrel of 10. And then third prize will be a little swag bag of some of the different swag and stuff that we offer. So it'll be some, some sort of semblance of getting us back to USITT. This isn't new product showcase. I'm not shoveling swag into masses of people, but it is hopefully doing something. And it is something too that as well, if you need to arrange a sample because you're like, I really think this is a great product, and your boss is like, well, I don't know. My contact information will be up at the end of this, or you can go to the website, cablemunkey.com. Contact me. This is, I am in this industry. I work with everybody. This is a hands-on product. And so sometimes it's just getting one into your hands so you can see it. So please definitely contact me and we will figure something out.
Perfect. Thank you for that. We have a couple of questions that have come in. The first one is, what is the recommended spacing and the weight rating?
Totally. So recommended spacing is, we say basically every 4 feet or so works pretty good. Part of that really depends on how heavy your hang is. If you've got a really heavy hang with a lot of cables, you might need to go a little closer, but every 4 feet is what we can do. If you actually, and I'm not sure how good the video is, but I flew in a batten behind me. We use them here at the university, and they're just spaced every 4 feet on there, and they work really good. And one of the things is generally speaking, again, we do that 4 feet, and then if you need one here or there, it's good to add in just as needed. In terms of weight rating, we say it can hold up to about 24 pounds at a 5-to-1 safety ratio of a distributed load. So it's not intended to point load or hang a specific one thing, but as you're spreading your cable out over the batten, you can get 24 pounds in there, which is a lot. That's 6 Sockopex cables plus some data cable in there. So you've got a lot of room in here. This was designed to be useful to do what we needed to do, and it really came from a genesis of this product. And so I've got so when I first started this, I actually cut them out of wood a long time ago with prototype. This was sort of where the design really went and started. And it worked well, but it was not in any way load rated or anything like that. And with voids and plywood, just didn't work out. And so we really kind of worked our way up. And once we got into the idea of plastic, working with 3D printing a couple of them to do some different tests of design, and kind of working through that sort of different iterations of things all the way up to the Cable Munkey that we have today, that we tested, that we have done a lot of things, including drive cars over, drop from grids, all the sorts of different things to do to make sure that it's gonna do what you need it to do and last. Again, this is something that, it's not like you throw out, it's not like tie line that might get thrown out at the end of a show. It's something that you're going to invest in and keep.
Perfect. Our next question, can you provide the dimensions of the product?
Sure, I totally can. So, and I will say on the website, there is a downloadable link for the data sheet so that you can get all of the information on there, and has dimensions built into that. But the dimensions on it, without getting into super specific things, is you have 6 inches across here. And then you have, I believe it's 7 1/4 inches from top to bottom, which again, it hangs, the bottom hook is intended to hang above the base of like a source 4 or an ellipsoidal that's pointed pretty much straight down. And it's again designed to be less than half the batten in any direction with the shutter blade of a ellipsoidal sticking out as well. Because again, we got to make sure that things can fly as they're going by. We don't want to add something to your batten that's going to create more issues.
Okay, perfect. And along those same lines, is there what's the width on those?
The width is 1.5 inches.
Perfect. Our next question, do they come in different sizes, and how well do they work on booms?
Currently, they do not come in different sizes. I would say that is something that is in the works for future down the road. Cable Munkey is me, pretty much. It is something that I do in addition to teaching and all of the other things I do. So genesis of new products is something that kind of comes with time and also money. I would say also, too, that I've learned a whole lot about plastic injection molding that I never thought in my life that I would learn. In terms of booms, they actually work surprisingly well on booms. It was something that I tried when we did a dance concert when I was in prototype mode, and worked great. It's got a little bit of a different feel on the boom. It's more worth containing the cable versus managing the cable. So as you're running down the boom, it keeps your cable in one bundle going down. You don't have to tie it tight to your boom. It allows you to kind of stick it off the backside or the side to give you a little more space. And it works well. I will definitely say that depending on how much cable you're running in a boom, and if you're trying to jump boom to boom sometimes, which we have to do, you do definitely want to mouse them in the horizontal orientation. That is something that definitely helps on the booms.
Perfect. Our next question, what is the max pipe size they will fit on?
The max pipe size is really about a 2-inch or so, right around with our standard truss. They do have some flexibility to them, not a huge amount, enough that you can get them over the pipes, but the size and shape is designed for kind of standard batten and truss. But they do, again, they will fit on a little bit bigger. I've gotten it on a 2.5-inch pipe. It doesn't quite snap in as much as it's designed to do, but again, if you mouse it, it'll stay and it'll fit for you.
Okay. Perfect. And I think this might be our final question. We are wrapping up here for our audience. So if you have any other final questions, go ahead and type those in, please. We can get those answered. Our last one right now that we have is there a lock feature in the batten attachment? Say
that again, Cody. Sorry.
Is there a lock feature in the batten attachment? That would just be the mousing, right?
Yeah, that's the mousing. There's no built-in locking mechanism to it. We wanted to make sure that you had the flexibility to do what you needed to do in your environment.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let me just double check. I'm looking on Facebook to see if there's anything here.
Totally.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Great. So those are the questions that we have right now. I am going to put up a slide that has Jonathan's information on it at the end. So if you want to check his website out, email him for any other additional information, you can feel free to do that. We hope that you've enjoyed this session today, and we look forward to welcoming you back to all of our online education and training sessions in the near future. Just a reminder, you can check all of those listings out on our website at www.usitt.org. You can also check them out on our social channels, Instagram, Facebook, all those good things. Later this afternoon, we'll be presenting our initial Form 4 segment. This one will be featuring contract negotiation strategies for lessening the stage management and gender wage gap. So a really interesting topic there. And again, that's one of the sessions that was going to be presented in Houston over the weekend. It's crazy that the conference should have been held this past weekend. If you haven't already registered for that session, please go ahead and do that at usitt.org again. At the completion of this webinar, you'll be directed to another short survey. This is just a survey for us at USITT to make sure that we are bringing you the best educational content that you want during this time. If there's any other comments or suggestions that you might have, please send those our way. Once again, thank you for joining us so much today for this New at Noon session. Again, you'll have the USITT survey coming to you. You also have Jonathan so that you can register for his giveaway, so make sure to complete that as well. I'm going to pop his information up on here. And again, thank you so much. We look forward to welcoming you to another online education and training session, either at noon or at 4. And in this time, stay connected, stay together, stay apart, but stay together through virtual Zoom meetings and FaceTimes and all those good things. And just stay well, most of all. We look forward to seeing you again here on our online platform and definitely next year in Columbus. Thank you so much for joining us today.